Good morning, Miss Pascal.
Good morning, Miss Pascal.
Okay, have you guys learned about President's Day yet?
Yes.
What presidents can you think of?
Abraham Lincoln and George Washington.
Okay, yes. What other presidents can you think of? George Washington? Barack Obama, that's our president right now.
Thomas Jefferson.
Oh, that's a good one too. Okay, today we're going to be reading about Abraham Lincoln, and then we're going to do a little coloring worksheet afterwards, okay? All right, Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln was born on February 12, 1809, in a log cabin in Kentucky. His happy parents called him Abe. Abe's 2-year-old sister Sarah loved him right away. The family was very poor, but they were hard workers. The Lincolns grew food on their farm. Young Abe became a good helper. "I will plant too," he said. He planted vegetable seeds. Sometimes Abe and Sarah went to school. They had to walk many miles to get to the one-room schoolhouse. They could not go often. Abe borrowed books to study on his own. Soon he learned to read and write. He read all the time. Abe often read as he sat near the main road watching people go by. He saw owners pass with their slaves, black men, women, and children. Slaves worked hard in their owners' fields and houses. Owners did not pay the slaves for their work. When Abe was 7 years old, his family left their farm. His family decided to move from the south to Indiana, which was in the north. In Indiana, land was cheap. In Indiana, people did not own slaves. The Lincoln family started a new farm. Abe grew tall and strong. By age 19, he was 6 feet and 4 inches tall. He worked hard on the farm. Neighbors paid him to work on their farms too. Abe chopped down trees, split logs, planted, and plowed. When he was 22 years old, Abe went off on his own. He had many different jobs. Once he worked on a flatboat. He brought farm goods to sell in New Orleans. Abe saw slaves being sold there. They wore heavy chains. Abe felt angry and sad. Can anyone think of what Abraham Lincoln might do since he doesn't like slavery?
Maybe he will go to the president and change the law.
Maybe so. It's a good prediction. Let's find out. Abe began to study law books. Eventually, he became a lawyer. People trusted him and called him Honest Abe. Later, Abe worked as a congressman. He helped to make good and fair laws. He gave speeches against slavery. "We must work to end slavery," he said. On November 6, 1860, Abraham Lincoln was elected the 16th President of the United States. People in the North cheered, but people in the South did not. They did not want to be part of the United States anymore. They wanted to start their own country. They wanted to keep their slaves. On April 12, 1861, a great war began. It was called the Civil War. The states in the North fought the states in the South. The Northerners wanted to keep the country together. They wanted to end slavery. President Lincoln wrote an important paper in 1863. It freed millions of slaves in the South, but the war went on for 2 more years. President Lincoln made a famous speech at a battlefield in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. His speech was called the Gettysburg Address. In it, he said strongly that all people are created equal. Finally, in April of 1865, the Civil War was over. The North had won. The president was very happy. Today, all Americans are free because of Abraham Lincoln's hard work against slavery. Each year in February, flags wave high as we celebrate this great president. Okay, so how has what Abraham Lincoln did affected our lives today? Can you think of anything? What don't we have anymore? Slaves. Yeah. And that's all because of Abraham Lincoln. And thinking back to the beginning of the book, Abraham Lincoln's childhood, what was it like compared to what you guys do?
Very poor.
He was very poor and he had to work on a farm. Why do you think he couldn't go to school that much?
Because they don't have enough money.
Yeah, and he had to work on his farm. He only could go maybe sometimes in the winter to school, and you guys get to go every day. Okay, and then when you guys go back to your desk, you're going to get your markers and your colored pencils or crowns, and you're going to color this worksheet. The first box says, when he was young. So this is all about Abraham Lincoln, so you could draw a picture of something when he was young. Can anyone think of one example? Yeah, he really liked to read when he was young. That would be a good thing to draw. And as he grew older, that's what this box says. What else could you write in this, draw in this one? He worked really hard on the farm and even worked on other people's farms. Okay, you could write about when he became a lawyer and he was reading all those lawyer books. And even that he became the president when he got older too. Okay, this one says, things he felt was important. What was important to Abraham Lincoln? Yeah, no more slaves. He wanted to end slavery. Scott, you're going to say that too? You could also put that he really thought reading was important because that's how he became a lawyer. Okay, and then this one says, things I know about him. This just could be a picture of anything you know about him. So what's something that you can draw a picture of?
That when he was giving his speech or the war.
Oh yeah, you could draw a picture of the Civil War or him giving his important speech. Yeah, when he became the president. Okay, so if you guys want to head back to your desk and get some coloring utensils.
Can we color him after you color the pictures?
It's